Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house. And today I've got the American Bladeworks Model 1 V5 here with me for a review, and we're gonna analyze the look, the sound, and the feel of this guy. But hey, don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this kind of content. So let's see how big this guy is, because overall length of this knife is gonna be around 7.9 inches with a 3.25 inch long blade and 4.67 inch long handle. And let's see how this guy compares with some classic options. For example, here we have Ontario Red number 1 and Ontario Red number 2, and you're gonna see that this guy is right in between these two offerings from Ontario. And if this is too small for you and this is too big for you, then that's your guy. And for example, same thing is gonna be valid also for the Spyderco, because here you have your Spyderco Para 3 and this is your Spyderco Paramilitary 2, and look at that. Again, this guy is right in between these two options, much closer, I would say, to the length of the Paramilitary 2, but nonetheless, it's still right in between these two guys. And this is the Chris Reeve Knives small Sebenza 21 with a beautiful spirograph Damascus blade, and this is the large Sebenza 21, bigger brother of this guy. And look at that. Again, this guy is right in between these two. So this is too small, this is too big. There you go. You have the right size for your EDC carry. In fact, for example, a couple options from Custom Knife Factory. You're gonna find that this is the Philippe Georget Design 520. And this is like a bigger brother from another dad. Let's say this is Peter Rassenti Design, also Custom Knife Factory, Snafu 2.0, big boy. But this guy is most likely similar to the 520 in size, which I think it's a fantastic EDC carry kind of option. Like, for example, it is the Shirogorov Neon Zero right over here, and this is the Shirogorov Neon F95R Slim. So this sometimes can be too big to carry, and there you go. You have this guy, which is a little bit bigger than the Neon, but still, it's a very, very cool option indeed. And let me show you another couple option here. From Europe, we've got from France, Fontenay-le-Pateau, sorry, this is the Lethier Nature, and here you've got also Fontenay-le-Pateau, but this is the Laguiole Nature, so this is 12 centimeters. You know, they use centimeters down there, which, you know, I grew up in Italy, and I'm more familiar with this unit of measurement for length rather than the inches. So that's why sometimes, you know, you're gonna hear me make some mistakes or some badly approximations, because I'm still, getting to know the imperial system. But anyways, this guy is more similar to the American Bladeworks. And let me show you another couple popular options, just because we have them in house. And this is the Hinder Knives XM18 3.5 inch long blade. And let me show you just another one, because it's also carbon fiber, marble, beautiful Custom Knife Factory MCAD MPAT. Very, very cool option indeed. Let me show you another one, little fella right over here, Booz Blades Mini Smoke. And what else can I show you? Just another couple, I promise. Just a big boy from Russia right over here. Igor Oleynikov Inspirer, big boy. And let me show you this guy over here, Steve Skiff Drifter, beautiful milling, again, fantastic EDCable size, just a tad smaller than that, but still super carryable, like very, very easy to carry indeed. But let's see, what do we have here, because this is a very cool one, 100% American made, $220 knife. So it's not cheap, for sure, but it's also not like mid-tech price. But this is kind of like a mid-tech one, and it's nicely made, I have to say. It's carbon fiber liner lock. You've got these two nice slabs of carbon fiber, nice chamfering going on. Inside, you're gonna find a couple of titanium liners, one for the lock actually, and one to give more structural rigidity to the overall frame of this knife on this side, on the show side. Right underneath, it's inset, so it's really, really cool. you find a nice and smooth finish overall. It's kind of like flat, yeah, but it's rounded off nicely around the edges. Nice chamfering going on all around the edge and also on the inside. So really, really cool. If you check here, you're gonna notice a pretty cool geared 3D milled titanium backspacer with some, I'd say, sandblast finish, matching the clip, matching the screws, matching the pivot, and yes, matching also the blade. So very, very organically designed, and I like this two-tone look that the knife has. It's really cool. You don't have any lanyard hole option over here. You have some nice lock release relief. There's a nice cutout here, you see, so your thumb is going to be able to access easily the lock and to disengage that with some jimping right there. And you see, like, there's a little bit of satin finish to it as well. So really, really cool touch. You can actually perceive the presence of ceramic detent ball right over there, and you're going to notice also that these screws are basically flush with the handle, not protruding, so they're not sticking out, and it's a cool thing. And also you're gonna notice that the pivot right over here is captive, so it's D-shaped and it has the ABW, American Bladeworks logo right over here. And on the back you're just gonna need, I think that's a T8 to disassemble this guy, and just a couple of screws over here, and basically boom, job is done. It's gonna take 5 minutes probably to take this guy down and to take care of it. So really, really straightforward operation. And on the back here you've got titanium milled pocket clip with I would say a little bit shallow ramp. The tension is good, it's nice and springy, but probably the ramp, it's not that much. You see, I would have preferred a little bit more, like less angled to facilitate in and out of the pocket, but still it works. It's tip-up carry only, it's not reversible, it's not ambidextrous, it's just gonna stay there. So just, you know, you don't have any option to change the side. If you check the blade, you have a nice, look at that, the lines are very, very cool, looks good, nicely rounded off heel, nice finger groove over here, flipper tab, and then you've got your blade here basically with a little bit of chamfering, not much crowning, nice drop point. You have 30% belly and then straight edge up to the semicircle sharpening choil. I would have preferred maybe something a little bit more elaborate, but it's still pretty cool. You have a full flat, yeah, this is a full, almost full flat grind. You have a little bit of flats right over here, right above the plunge grind. Nice thin stock, I have to say that. Look at this. This is a pretty cool slicer because the overall stock, it's pretty thin, so very, very nice. You can appreciate the tolerances right over here, very, very tight, so it's nicely made for sure. The area here around the flipper tab is chamfered nicely, rounded off. It's not pointy, not sharp, but you're going to see that the jimping is also rounded off. Look at, maybe from this point of view, you can see that it's really rounded off. So there's not honestly much grip to this on this flipper tab. And sometimes you just happen just to slip off of that because the detent on this very one, it's strong. So it's not like I read somewhere that they have a weak detent. Absolutely not. At least this one here has a very strong detent. In fact, sometimes I find myself just slipping off like this because I don't grip that much, and because of the jimping over here, it's not that grippy. But overall, I like the sterile look of the blade. You just have S35VN engraved right here on the back. I love the matching of like the finish with the hardware, with the clip and the spacer. I think it's a pretty cool touch. Edge profile is very nice and symmetric, so nothing to say about that. And it's an overall pretty cool blade, absolutely centered. It's a nice one. The sound this guy makes, it's snappy. When you open it, it's strong. It's loud. Kind of percussive. You see, I just slipped that. So it's a strong sound when you open. When you close it, it's not subdued. There's a nice clink to it. And it's snappy as well. So I appreciate the sound mostly when opening because it gives me like a nice sense of strength. When you deploy the blade, it's clack, it's nice. It's a fulfilling sensation. The weight of this guy is going to be 3.3 ounces, so it's really, really cool. It's lightweight. It's not a huge one, but it's the weight is pretty well contained, and if you grip, you're gonna feel that there's basically no hot spots because everything is rounded off. Nice area over here for like your finger groove right over here. It's comfortable, I have to say, nicely rounded off. It's not like super 3D sculpted or anything, but it's comfortable. I don't feel any hot spots whatsoever. There's a lack of jimping over here. I would have preferred maybe a little bit of jimping going on. You can still do a nice reverse grip. You're gonna have kind of like some sort of finger guard created by the flipper tab right over here, sticking out a little bit so your thumb can be like that, and you can have like a reverse grip, something like this. Not much options to choke it up. You can take advantage of this area over here, but it's kind of like slippery, and the finger choil, it's not present. This is just a sharpening choil, and this is sharp to the heel. So just be careful if you do like a choked up grip kind of thing. And also there's no jimping, so can be slippery. Overall, the knife feels solid in the hand. There's just a minuscule amount of flex when you squeeze it like that, but nothing to be worried about. Texture is really smooth, of course, very, very slippery, I would say. It's not that grippy. It's actually smooth. I see a little bit of imperfections in the carbon fiber. I don't know if you can appreciate, but there are some voids in the, you see, maybe like over here. And also, actually, you can probably see better like over here. There's some voids, so the fit and finish is not 100% there, but I don't see any gaps. Everything is pretty flush over here, so this is a nice area. There's a little bit of jimping. I would have preferred a little bit more there. There's no blade play. It's pretty solid in the hand. Nice and balanced right over here. And the deployment speed is very good because the detent is strong, so you're not gonna have that finger sore when you play with this, or if you repeatedly open it, because it's very, very rounded off. So it's just a matter of you finding the right position to deploy the blade, and boom, you're in business. Not so much for the push button. It's doable, but that is gonna create some serious finger sore. So just stick with your light switch like that, and you're gonna be good to go. This guy also is smooth because it's running on ceramic caged bearings, so that's why the action is like that. And you see, as soon as you disengage the lock bar, the blade is just falling down because of, of course, these ball bearings. But if you put it in the vertical position, there's no guillotine effect. That's why, oops, you're gonna have to just wiggle it a little bit like that in order for the blade to get in the closed position. And of course, you can notice right over here a little bit of a hard step, like so. There's no detent ball ramp, so you're gonna have this kind of feel when you're gonna be closing the blade, but overall it's a very nice action, and a little bit of detent suction like just from here, so not so much the magnetic effect. But I mean, overall this is a pretty cool knife. It's not a budget knife because it's $220, but it's made in US. It's nicely made, nice carbon fiber liner lock, nice blade. I love the dual tone look that overall this guy is having. Nice lines. I would have preferred a little bit less voids in the carbon fiber, maybe a little bit more space over here, but this is still good. Maybe some jimping going on over here, but mostly the jimping in the flipper tab, I think, needs a little bit more designing thoughts. But overall it's a pretty good looking knife with a nice sound and a very, very comfortable grip. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned.